Now you see, the soul, the second basic truth, and body, the third basic truth, the product of a material nature, which is not eternal. Then what is the purpose of body? Why the soul, the second basic truth, needs the third basic truth for its existence or for its actually manifestation? What is the need? Why does soul need a body to manifest and become part of the third basic truth, which is not eternal? The sole purpose of this life is to gain absolute liberation. Absolute liberation. But how is that possible without first achieving liberation? So the sole purpose of the body is to gain absolute liberation, but absolute liberation cannot happen without liberation. You see? And liberation means freedom from material consciousness. Freedom from the entire material consciousness, the Prakriti, the material nature. And body is part of that material nature. So freedom from body, that is the sole purpose of this life. That is the sole purpose of the soul to manifest in material nature. So to gain absolute freedom, absolute liberation, we need to first achieve liberation, the freedom from the entire material universe, including our body. And that is called mukti, liberation. Once that mukti is achieved, once that realization of freedom is achieved from the material consciousness, we can progress towards absolute liberation, moksha, jivan mukti. And that is the sole purpose of this manifestation or having this life. The jiv, the soul, the eternal part of the five basic truths is to gain that jivan mukti. And that is not possible for the jiv, that is not possible for the soul without getting manifested in the body and be part of the material nature, which is not eternal. So body is part of material nature, which is not eternal. But jiv, the soul, is manifesting in body, which is part of Prakriti. Now, the Prakriti, the material nature, is also of two types. One is the superior Prakriti and the other one is inferior Prakriti. Jiv, when in body, the soul when in body is superior Prakriti. Living beings, all living beings with different levels of consciousness, like human beings, the animals, the plants, the other insects, small or big, the living consciousness, the living beings are part of superior Prakriti. Whereas the inferior Prakriti is actually material nature, which is material in nature. So superior Prakriti, different levels of consciousness, the jiv manifested in bodies, which are not eternal, and then inferior Prakriti, which is material nature. So out of these 5 basic truths, it is important to note that manifestation of material nature, the manifestation of material nature and karma are not eternal. However, the effects of karma can be very old, and they seem to be eternal, but they are not. The effects can be very old, but karmas are not eternal. Similarly, the manifestation of material nature, that is not eternal. So karmas are not eternal. Manifestation of material nature, the Prakriti, is not eternal. The Kal, the time within which everything happens, is eternal.